All right, getting kind of hard for me to do videos because it's almost like I don't like to do them anymore. But I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna try to get back into it. We're gonna go to Sparks in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna do a video for that. So anyway, out here working on little Goth. We're gonna put shocks, front shocks on there. First thing I had to do was I had to disconnect, or I had to cut off the mount for the brake cable, and then down underneath here that clears that out. Now anything up behind it, you can kind of bend it back, bend it up, and be careful with the brake lines so you don't snap them. And then I have to clear this out. Basically I'm going to put this shock tower, a new shock tower relocated, and it's going to be going right up in here. Okay, what that's going to do is that's going to make it so that the shock's going to go straight up and down right here. And then I'm going to put basically a bar from here coming straight out, so that way the shock is straight up and down. That'll still leave me with enough room for the wheel to turn, not get in the way. We just got to kind of keep it as close as possible. The other thing we got to be careful of is the upper control arm. It's got a bolt. You still got to be able to get to that bolt in order to be able to take your upper control arm off if you ever need to. Unless you've upgraded yours, and then you'll have a whole nother issue of making sure that it all fits. Let's see, what have I done already? I've already cut 4 small squares out of that, well, rectangles. Cut 4 small squares and put some light on the subject. And then I cut them all to fit. Of course, I'm not a professional shop, so basically I just wallered out a spot on these. That way I can get these to set into the bar, so when I weld it, there's less gap. See? So there's that. So now what I did was I put them on here just so I can mock them up, and then what I'll do is get these a little bit tight. This is the bar that I'm going to use. I need to clean it up just a little bit and get it straightened out. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on here, and I'm going to tack weld it onto the end of that, because the other end of this is going to go straight to the control arm. This will allow my shock to be straight up and down where it needs to be, and go with the full movement up, all the way up and all the way down. These are front shocks from for a Nissan hardbody. Nissan hardbody has one of the shortest shocks that I know of. I'm trying to see where's my freaking, need a tape measure so you guys can get an idea. Thought it was over here. Damn it. Where the hell did I put it? It's probably sitting right in front of me. It's usually the way it works. I don't want to have to stop this just to look for my tape measure, because I know I just used it. There it is. It's on the ground. Right here. So, Nissan hardbody shocks. These are like 89, 90, 91, right in that area. The shock itself is basically 8.5 inches. The whole thing from the very top to the very bottom is 1 foot compressed. All the way out from the top to the bottom compressed is 15 inches. So that means there's roughly about 4 inches of travel. You see, yeah, it's 11 inches here and 7.5, so 8.5, 9.5, 10.5, 3.5 inches of travel is what this will give you. Now you say that doesn't sound like a lot, but you're putting it on the back side of the control arm, not on the very end. On the very end, you're gonna have this much movement. Okay, if we go halfway back, let's say halfway back to my wrist, then you're only gonna have this much movement. For out at the end to have this much movement. So you're only going to be traveling about 3 inches or less on the back side of the control arm when it moves up and down. So don't freak out on that. Again, try to make sure that it's straight. Try to make sure that when the movement is happening, the shock isn't having to move like this as it's going up and down. Okay, you want it to move as closely to straight up and down as possible. Otherwise, you're gonna end up breaking these pieces in here. You're gonna wear out your bushings, you're gonna bend your bolts, you're gonna ruin something on your frame. Whatever you added will end up not working functionally the way it's supposed to. So I'm gonna get this metal cleaned up. I'm gonna get these set up so that I can tack all this in place, and then I can take these off and then weld them in the rest of the way. Be right back. Like my setup? Gotta grind it off somehow. And I don't have my grinding wheel set up. Ta-da! Let's see, what do we got? Yeah, I should be using that, huh? Oh well. Should be enough off of both sides. That's a whole lot better than what that looks like. So now I'm just gonna go and test it out, see if we've got enough to reach across. Yeah. Now we have enough for that. And then the other end needs to be done like that so that we can weld it onto the side of the control arm. And I'll have to get in there and probably wire brush it off a certain way. But let me get this other one done before this thing blows up. All right, I did that one. That one's done. So then that one, it just, like I said, it just welds onto the side of the control arm like that. So now I'm gonna get this other one done. Hopefully, I can get this knocked out like that. And you guys can kind of see what's going on over here. I wanna make sure that these are straight. I want to make sure that when I put the bar on here, it's going to sit straight with the nut there. And then I got to make sure that the bar is going to be level as well. So what I'm going to do, this is my welding table, did you notice? I'm going to hold this on here like this. And then I've got my ground over there. This is just gonna sit on here like this. I'm gonna hold this just right because this is what I do. We'll get a tack weld on there first. Hold. Gotta make sure this is straight. It wasn't, so I had to break that off. Okay, let's reset. Okay. Let me just get this one set here. A little bit longer burn on that, so it's not so easy to break off. There we go, it's closer. Get it straight. Get it straight. Oh, helps if you put it on the table. Okay, that's where I want it. And that piece can be broken off. You don't want your shit looking like a porcupine. Oh, can't get that off there. Take this stuff off, because the bushings and stuff that are inside there, you don't want to hard weld anything on while the bushings are in there, because you'll fuck them up. So here we go. Alright. Let me get this the rest of the way welded. Why is that not coming out right? The welder's not liking me today. The other side. Damn it. Did I do that? Technical difficulties. I better pop this off and figure out what's going on. We'll be right back after these messages. For those of you who said that it welded to the tip inside there, it melted, got too hot, you're right. That's kind of what I was thinking. I just wanted to make sure. Had to check the machine, make sure everything was good on the up and up and on it. Now we can get back to doing what we were doing. It's time for a new tip. Time for a fucking new tip. All right. See? Hashtag welding table. It works. There's my shock mounts for the lower shock mount. And then I've got my upper, which is already a prefab one that I got. I think I got it in a trade deal or something. I can't remember when I got these. It's a long time ago. I'm tired. What time is it? I don't even know what time it is. I gotta make sure it's not time for me to fucking leave. 10 o'clock. I might have another hour left in me. Okay, so next thing I gotta do is I gotta figure it out, and then right up in here on the lower control arm, I gotta dig out a spot right there. A little spot right there for the pipe to be received right inside there. I might, no, it's gonna be hard to try to do a hole saw on that. So that'll be purely grinder. I'm gonna have to get in there and just grind it out. Try to get a somewhat of a bowl for it to sit in, and then up against the control arm on the inside. And then that way I can weld it all in and it'll sit firm and it won't fall this way and it won't be pushed up that way. So that's the next step. Let me get my grinder, get under there, and start on that. All right, there it is. Oops, get some light on the subject. There we go. Shock's fully mounted. No, nothing is painted as of yet. I might throw a little bit of just some fucking Krylon or something on it just for now. I think I'd have a problem getting that bolt out though on the side of the upper control arm, but it's cool. I had to make sure that the wheel could turn all the way without stretching this line out. So I actually mounted it directly to the new shock tower, and there's enough room for it to turn in both directions without hanging up on anything. And like I said, I ended up welding it to the underside instead of the top side because I needed the clearance for the shock to be able to mount without having to go up any higher, because that was just really close to all the lines right there and I needed the space. So, and then this, touching on that, if it vibrates, this is just a vent line, so it's not gonna hurt anything. It's actually gonna protect everything else. Got the air line back on and everything there. So, now all I gotta do is the driver's side. Driver's side's easier. I'm not gonna have a light unless I bring all this. So let's stretch this out over to here. That way we can have a light. Oh, it did not prepare for this shoot. Okay, so there, everything on this side, this is the way it looks to begin with. And we'll weld it to the bottom of that, and we will cut the brake line off right there, and then we'll just move it pretty much straight out to the end and then weld it back onto the other shock tower over here. So I need to take a little bit of a break. It's just about time for me to leave, so I really want to get this done, get the wheel on, get everything put together, and actually take it for a test drive, even though it's been raining. But it's not raining now, so that's what counts. So, and then next weekend will be the last weekend I have to be able to get anything ready, because halfway through the week I leave for Sparks. And I'm still gonna try and get a water pump on that next weekend, because if I can, then I can help Gina out. She gets the golf cart in the divorce. I know I haven't talked about the divorce hardly at all, but she gets the golf cart in the divorce. If I get something show, which is little golf, she deserves something show, which is a golf cart. So, and she loves that golf cart anyway. I think she rides it more than I do now. And I mean, here at the house, I just ride the four-wheeler. So yes. So if I can get the water pump done on that and get that cleaned up, then I should be able to tow it up there. She is gonna help pay for half the gas up there and back so that she can have her golf cart up there. So that's the plan next weekend. I told her, I said, I'm not sure if I can get it done. If I have any problems, complications, whatnot, that's gonna end that. So let me take a break and I will get right back to you. Hopefully I can get this done today, because I'm on the verge of having to leave. All right, I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but this side is on. There you go, you can see it. Got the truck aired up, ready to go. Let's give it a test. All right, I've got to air it down a little bit in the front, that way it can not bounce. April's with me. She wanted to go for a ride. Hi, baby. 14 years old. She's still my ride or die. Hopefully I don't run out of gas. Maybe, oh shit, I don't have no money on me. I left my wallet at the house. Because of the bump, but after that it doesn't keep bouncing. April's enjoying herself. Hi, April.
I'm not afraid of my welds. I'm just wondering how well the placement is. I think the lower mount needs to probably go in a little bit farther. I'm probably about a half an inch from being able to go lock the lock, but I don't have time today to do that. But as long as I don't turn lock the lock, I'm not gonna have a problem hitting the lower shock mount. But I do need to move it in another half an inch to an inch to give it that amount of clearance that's needed. Wow, this ride's nice. This has to show 5 miles an hour over what your speed is because of the wheels being smaller. Alright, some of these bridges can get a little weird on me. Yeah, there's nothing. It is just riding nice. Beautiful. I'm happy. I got shocks on my truck. I think this bridge is a little bumpier. Oh yeah. No issues. The bounce is gone out of the front end. It just rides real nice in the front now. I really hope I don't run out of gas. There ain't nobody at the house that can come pick me up because I'm all alone. Finish this drive and get back to the house. There we go. Boy, you guys are getting a sneak peek. So those shocks, they're old, so I do need to buy new shocks for the rear, but for now that's fine. The rear shocks are a little bit bouncy, but yeah, now we're looking good. Next weekend I got to clean the truck, get it hopefully up onto the trailer if I can get the water pump done next weekend on the Silverado, which everybody tells me that's a pretty quick, simple cut and dry, and then that means that everything's gonna fuck up. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I gotta go to work. On my way to Chicago. Talk to you guys on the next video. Don't look at